What it do? What it do? What it do, everybody? We are back in it once again. Welcome to the Morning After Show with your host, Kqkc and Knockout Boxing 86 TV. What's going on with you, Knockout Boxing?
Man, I'm chilling. Just another Sunday morning where I get to wake up, got all my picks right. So it's a beautiful Sunday morning. I can't lie. Even though it's cloudy outside here in Dallas, Texas, it's sunny inside my heart because it's always great when you get your picks right, man, and you get to come up here and you got a lot of people eating crow and you ain't got to eat no crow. I got to have me some bacon and eggs this morning, so I'm
That's right.
chilling. I'm chilling,
I'm
man.
not eating no crow today for the first time. All right. For the first time. I mean, Ramirez won. I picked him. And of course, I picked Roman Gonzalez to win. So those are two main guys that I picked. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a good Sunday morning because we had a hell of a fight weekend. And I'm talking about it kicked off on Friday night and it came all the way to fruition to Saturday night. And now Friday night was a little late, but that's okay. I still enjoyed it. I still late to watch a fight any day. But I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. You know, I see everybody waiting to get their notifications. But hope G5 underscore Gabe had a great birthday. All
Yes,
right, shout
sir.
out to you, G5. All right, I'm surprised you up. I thought you'd be hung over. All right, Mac and Diamond Mac of the South. What it do, baby? What it do? Salute to you. Salute to Reggie Milliken. Salute to Ricky E245. All right, that's who all we got so far in the building. And of course, everybody be coming in pretty soon. All right. So with that, what else is going on with you on Knockout?
Oh man, not much, man. I'm ready for some fights in the next couple of weeks. But man, while we waiting on people to come in, Demetrius Andrade, he just signed his fight. He signed his fight with Zach Parker for the
Right.
168-pound interim WBO title. So it's official. He's not fighting at 160 in this next fight. He's fighting at 168 pounds. And this is for an interim WBO title to see who will be the mandatory for Canelo's belt, man. Do you think that's a good move from Andrade, or you think he should have stayed at 160?
No, I think that's a good move because 168, you got David Benavidez down there. You about to get Charlo up there because Charlo can't make 160 really anymore, and that's per Ronnie Shields. He's killing himself to make 160 just to hold on to that belt. But of course, you're gonna have to move up to 168. Then we have all three guys. Now we also know what Canelo said last night, and and a lot of things was unnecessary last night. The zone went a little bit too far with the Ryan Garcia, with the Canelo Alvarez, and I mean, I get it. You're trying to sell subscriptions, you're trying to sell this, and you're trying to sell that. But the main thing is we should be focusing on the cards, the fighters. And I understand you got celebrities. You want to put the camera on them for a minute, that's fine. In between rounds, Showtime does it. HBO used to do it. But giving him the stage, giving him the ring, I mean, that's a little bit going overboard, And actually, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all, because they need to fight each other. They need to fight each other. Now, I'm not, like I say, I rock with the Charlos. I mean, I rock. But I've got to keep it straight because I'm a boxing fan first. And they need to fight each other or make a path for themselves. Now, what type of path? I don't know. They got to figure that shit out. All right. So there you go. Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm happy Andrade did that shit. You know what I'm saying? He it's the right move. He been down at 160 pounds since 2017. That's 5 years, bro. Like when you gonna unify or do something big or get a big fight, like it's the same thing I've been saying about Gary Russell Jr. Like when you somewhere for so long and you ain't getting the big fights and you keep doing that shit over and over again, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over and hoping that you get some different results. What you've been doing since 2017 has not got you a big fight. And let's take Canelo out of it because I'm like you, man. I'm tired of these guys just waiting around for Canelo. So let's just take Canelo out of it and just say big fights. Like you ain't had a big fight since 2017. So doing the shit you've been doing since 2017 and hoping for a big fight, that shit ain't been working for you. So why not change it up? You know what I'm saying? Go up there to 168, see what's popping, and then you put Canelo in a position where he either gonna have to vacate or he gonna have to fight you. So that way, and then most importantly for your career, you put yourself in position to become a 3-division champion. That's the most important thing if you Demetrius Andrade. So I like the move too. He didn't have to drop his belt yet to do it. So maybe he go up there to 168. He don't look as good. Maybe he too small for the weight. Then he's still a champion down at 160. He can go back down there, campaign, and defend his belt against the winner of Janabek and Jaime Munguia, because that's the fight that they ordered for the interim down there. So I think it's a great move. He didn't have to drop his belt to do it. Why not go test the waters? Zach Parker is a good person to do that against, because Zach Parker is right there as a B level 168-pound fighter. So he's somebody that if you can't beat and you can't look good against, then you might not even want to fight up there at that weight class. Because if you can't look good and shine on him, you ain't shining on the likes of David Benavidez or Caleb Plant, or especially, you know, Canelo, people like that. So I like to move for him. And then real quick on the Canelo tip that you was talking about, man, bro, like, I understand what he's saying. Like, yes, as everybody knows, I agree. Every single fighter needs to fight each other. In Young World, Brandon House, Jay Cooley, Everything Boxing, Underground Asylum. Salute to all y'all, bro. Y'all smash the like button for us, man, as y'all come in the building. But I understand what Canelo is saying. But when you do that, when you say, yo, they need to fight each other to prove that they can fight me, or that, and I'll fight the winner, then I'm like, all right, cool, bro. I immediately, with my brain, get to thinking, okay, why they need to fight each other? Had they done so much less than your other opponents? Let me look at your resume. Then when I look at your resume and I see the people that you telling to fight each other have done more than some people that you've already fought, then I'm like, why are you saying that, bro? Like, do you not want to fight them for real, or are you moving a certain way? Like, why are you doing that? And so that would be my question. Like, I don't understand why they don't ask them those questions. That's why I probably never get a press pass, because that would be my first like response question. That, like, if I was in a damn media row and I heard that bullshit, I'd be like, oh, okay, Canelo. So why do Charlo Benavidez and Andrade need to fight each other, but Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders didn't need to fight each other?
Exactly.
And then I make them answer that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. He's right. They always say don't shoot the messenger, but sometimes you can get the right message from the wrong messenger. Like if you and me go out to the club and some dudes start with us and they throw the first punch, and then I'm over here fighting for my life. I'm fighting like crazy, and you don't do nothing. And we get back home, and you say, bro, we got to get them back. We got to go get them knockout. I can't believe they did that. Like, you might be right. We might really need to go get them back, but you ain't throw a punch, so you don't need to be the person telling me shit right now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I view this situation. Like, Canelo, you right. They need to fight each other, but you shouldn't be the one saying that shit. Let us fans say it. Let the pundits say it and shit like that, because right now you ain't giving us what we want to see. You ain't fighting the fights that we want to see, so we don't want to hear that shit from you right now. But that's all I got on that, man. And salute Dante Howell. I see you, bro. Salute to you, man.
Yeah, I'm like Everything Box. You know, I'm getting a little bit tired of Canelo Alvarez. You know, and now some things are not his fault, because a lot of people like the Zone, the WBA. They are, and Oscar De La Hoya, he's the one that kicked it off. They really catering to him. They're making things easier for him, and they're not keeping him at the same standard that the other boxers are. They hold him to a higher standard, and things that other boxers can't get away with, he's getting away with it. So, and someone said, well, he ain't doing nothing, but Floyd gave him the blueprint. Floyd didn't give him that blueprint. That's a different blueprint. I mean, Floyd, yes, he was a showman. I mean, is Canelo a showman? No. Now, of course, Floyd, was a pay-per-view king. Yes, he was. But Floyd fought champions. Floyd fought hard champions. I mean, Floyd fought competition. And what he's doing, you know, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole Canelo thing, because we know where Rocky Fielding and Yadurin going to end up, right? So, but what I'm saying is that Floyd didn't give him that blueprint. This is a whole different ball game with Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Floyd didn't go up and down weight classes. Floyd went to 154 to fight Miguel Cotto. Then he came right back down to 147 and continued on with his career. He didn't go down.
People don't know that the only fights that Floyd Mayweather fought at 154 pounds was Oscar De La Hoya and Miguel Cotto, and then he fought Canelo at a catchweight. All them other fights, 147, and then obviously, you know, when he was campaigning at lightweight and shit like that. So, I think the history gets misconstrued. He wasn't going, you know, 154. Now I'm at 160. Boom. Then I'm back at 175. Then boom, shit. I'm about to be back down at 168. Then boom, I'm back at 175. Like he ain't do all that shit. And Jose and T, salute to y'all, bro. Y'all smash the like button as y'all come in the building. Please. Please. But you want to get to a couple of these fights real quick, man? We can do the Friday fights first.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes, sir. Let's get
all right, man. So I want to talk about Gabriel Flores Jr. and Abraham Montoya. Because number one, it was a good fight, but number two, you felt like Abraham Montoya should have got the decision. But break down the fight for us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you saw when you were calling it. And this was from ESPN, y'all. We're doing the top ranked card first, then we're gonna go over to what happened on Saturday with Kqkc and them. But what did you think of the fight? And then after you break down the fight, do you think Gabriel Flores Jr. is gonna have a shot to be something in the sport one day?
Well, I think Gabriel Flores, I think he thinks about what other people think about him. I think he has that type of mindset. All right. He's coming off a loss when he went into that fight. And now he wants to prove himself that, hey, listen, I am a good fighter. I do get hard. Well, let me show you. You know, he's trying to please everyone, but not himself. And now he's what I hear, allegedly, that he's trying to lift weights. He's trying to eat, you know, put on weight so he can pretty much punch harder. It don't work that way. It don't work that way because you're going to have to learn how to fight at that weight. And then once you fight at that weight, then we'll see what happens. Then he tried to box the same way he used to box. But when you got that weight on you, that's going to tire you out. And I think he was getting tired out because Montoya was coming straight in and he was going down. He's an awkward fighter. So he was going down to the body. He was going upstairs and back down to the body. And he was getting hit with everything. Flores was. Now, Flores, he did weather the storm a few times. And now he understands that, okay, you know what? I think I am an elite fighter. I think I can weather the storm. I can come back from a knockdown, you know, and come back and be victorious. But if he start fighting better competition, if he fight better competition, I think he's in trouble. I think he's in trouble. Because what Montoya was trying to do is he was trying to get down to the body. He was trying to slow him down, trying to slow that movement down, because all he was doing is pretty much clenching and moving out the way and using his lateral movement. But if you find a puncher, someone with a chin, I think he's going to be out of there.
Shit, he already did in his last fight. Got his ass beat. He got his ass beat. And salute to my wife in the building and David Real Thomas, Chi-Town. We see y'all, man.
All right. Salute.
Do you think so? You don't think Gabriel Flores? You don't think he gonna do nothing? You think he might top out? He only 21 years old, but you done seen enough.
Yeah, I seen enough. And they're not gonna put him in there with stiff competition. They're not gonna, you know, moving up. No, that's not gonna work either. Because like I say, weight classes out there for a reason. And once you move up and step up, they punch harder. They more fundamentally, you know, and they're used to punches, you know. So, you know, every time you move up, you're up at another level. And they're at another level. That means they're a little bit better, they're a little bit faster, and they hit a little bit harder. And I think Flores just don't have it. I mean, you know, just some people have it, some people don't. And I think he reached his peak.
Yeah, Flores, man, he's that boxer that has pretty good skills. And people, I remember in the chat when you were calling the fight, they were like, "Oh, he like Devin Haney. He ain't got no power." I was like, "Well, nah, Devin Haney, he's much better. He's much sharper puncher. He's way better with his feet. He's a better counter puncher. He's just an overall better boxer." Gabriel Flores' problem is he tries to fight like that, but he's not near as fast. He's not nearly as good on his feet. And Devin Haney punch harder than him. And his issue is always going to be keeping people off of him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he did enough. He was lucky that Abraham Montoya, he was lucky for two things. Number one, he put some rounds in the bag early that Gabriel Flores. I felt like he won the first 4, maybe 5 rounds of the fight relatively easy. And then Abraham Montoya, because he was slow-footed. He's a slower fighter. It took him a while to catch up to Gabriel Flores. By the time he caught up to him, he didn't have enough rounds to win and do the work that he that he needed to do. And the other thing Gabriel Flores is lucky is that it wasn't a 12-round fight. If it was a 12-round fight with the way that Abraham Montoya started beating him, he was on his way to either maybe a championship round stoppage, or he was on his way to probably losing a close, 7-5 decision. Because I think Abraham Montoya won the last 4 rounds of that fight very, very easily. And if somebody like him, and this is no disrespect to Abraham Montoya, but if that level of fighter can catch up to you and get to you, then man, you moving up. I don't think that's ever the answer for a fighter like Gabriel Flores. You already struggling to keep guys that aren't as strong, that aren't as big. You're struggling to keep them off of you at a lower weight class. So you expect me to believe that you're going to move up in weight. And now guys that are bigger and stronger and punch harder, you're going to keep those guys off of you when you couldn't keep smaller guys off of you. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Like it's just some people that lack of power, they don't box good enough. And that's why I think people call power the great equalizer. I don't know why other people do it, but I call it that because that's important. The ability to take up for yourself, basically, the ability to keep people off of you, whether you be able to knock them out or not. Can you punch sharp enough? Can you punch hard enough to where people don't just disrespect your power, bro? You know what I'm saying? Having no power in the boxing ring and guys not respecting what you can do to them and what's coming back at them, that's like being a hooper with no damn jump shot, bro. Like people just like, oh man, go ahead and shoot the ball. Shit, I'm finna go down here and get the rebound. Like you just you handicap yourself as a fighter when you have no power. And I think that's where we at with Gabriel Flores. Salute to him. He showed he got heart because he fought a similar fighter. The guy that he fought beat the guy that I know we don't do the triangle theory and I don't believe in it, but the heart and the mind of Gabriel Flores just fought the guy who beat the guy that beat him up. So the guy that beat up Gabriel Flores the last time lost to this guy Abraham Montoya. So for him to even step in the ring with him, perform how he did, salute to him. But if he's having trouble with this level of fighters, he start fighting guys up here, man. I don't know what's gonna happen to him, man. I don't know what's gonna happen to him.
Knockout. That brings me back to Colbert, right? And we all remember that fight. We all remember what he did in the 11th and 12th round. We all know that he decided not to engage and went on and just say, I quit. I'm just going to take the L and call it a day and live the fight another day. No. All eyes was on that fight that night. Everybody in that weight class, I guarantee you, know now that he's not, he don't have a heart. And that heart is missing. And now everybody's going to be gunning for him. He's going to have to fight and keep guys off of him. Now, does he have the talent? Does he have the strength? I don't think so. So, I mean, he's going to have to go to the drawing board. Now, going up in weight, that's not going to help. They punch harder. They're going to come right there, cut off the ring, and pretty much work you on the ropes. I mean, I can see it in my head right now. So
yeah, if you Colbert, you at 130, shit, you couldn't keep Hector Luis Garcia off of you. What you gonna do? You move up to 135 and JoJo Diaz or fucking or Isak Pitbull Cruz is like, bro, you couldn't keep our buddy off you. You ain't, bro, you're not keeping them off of you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But before we do another story, man, let's stay on this card because this next fight, man, I thought this was a phenomenal performance. Joey Gonzalez versus Gio Santisima, man. The battle of the guys that got their ass beat by your favorite featherweight, Emmanuel Navarrete, beat both of their ass. And they said, look, we're going to find out who lost better. We're going to find out who can perform better coming off that ass whipping, man. And Joey Gonzalez went in there and did his thing, OG. When you were calling that fight, man, I could tell you were enjoying that fight. A lot of punches, great back and forth, but ultimately Joey Gonzalez was able to get the stoppage. I didn't agree with the stoppage, but he was definitely clearly winning that fight. But what you got on that fight, man?
Man, guys, Joey, he was pretty much throwing a lot of headshots, and I was kind of like, wow, he's headhunting a lot, and that gives the judges their attention because that get more attention than body shots. You know, a lot of people don't see a lot of body shots. That's why I say that's a lost art in boxing. You know, body shots, man, that's where it's at, where you can pretty much slow down your opponent and then bang them hands down. But Joet was pretty much doing his thing. He knew that was an easier fight than Navarrete. And he went in there and he pretty much dominated, really. I mean, he really went in there and dominated, and he was throwing not one shot at a time. He was throwing in combinations. And once you throw in combination, you start landing, he started getting very accurate. Then bam, there you go. All right. Then he really start pretty much pressing the action, bagging them up. And that's what he was doing. You know, and I can't say too much on this fight because for the reason was, and he was doing it in repetition. He was doing anytime he wanted to do it. He was doing anything he wanted to do. And I think he was just too much for what's the name?
Santisima. Santisima.
Yeah, Santisima. I can't. Oh man, no names be true.
Shit, Gio. His first name Gio. Call his ass Gio.
Gio.
Yeah, his name Gio. J-E-O. Gio.
Cisco.
Yeah, call him man Gio. Shit. No disrespect to all my brothers and sisters from the Philippines, but we from America. Sometimes we have trouble saying y'all names. Shit.
Right.
It is what it is.
And he was getting pieced up. You know, he just couldn't keep the onslaught on, you know, and he just getting pieced up in the face and, you know, head. And I mean, he just got overwhelmed. And I mean, he tried to go to the body. He tried to match speed with speed. And everybody know that timing is beat speed any day. And that's what he was doing. He was timing him, and he was trying to use speed. But Joet was using timing, and he had great timing. So, you know, shout out to him for that fight because everything I say was repetitious.
Yeah, Joey Gonzalez dominated that fight, man. He went when he was pushing Gio Santisima back and not respecting his power. I knew it was a wrap because Gio Santisima, he cannot fight going backwards. And I had a feeling Joey Gonzalez, even though you go look at his eye and shit and look like Navarrete beat his ass, he took some rounds off of Navarrete and he took his power real well. So as long as he healed up and shit, you knew he was gonna come in confident as hell. And he saw Gio Santisima get his ass whipped by Navarrete. Like Santisima was in there getting bounced around and shit. So he like, shit, I got more heart, I got more guts in this dude. And he started walking forward to him. Santisima was supposed to be this big ass power puncher. Joet didn't respect any of his power whatsoever. He just started breaking them down. Now, I did see a lot of body shots in that fight. And Joel was working the body, the head. He just, man, it was a great performance from him. So I was very, very pleased with what I saw from him. Can't wait to see him fight next because this Joel, I think people go look at this fight with Shakur Stevenson and they think he can't box. But I think people forget how good Shakur Stevenson is. Like, other than Shakur Stevenson, you think it like Joel got 2 losses. One to Shakur Stevenson and one to Navarrete. Like, he only lost to the cream of the crop, bro. That a lot of people would lose to. Like, and in that Navarrete fight, it wasn't no 119, 111 landslide. Like, it was 116 to 112. Like, he took like 4 or 5 rounds off of Navarrete. Joel, he can fight, bro. And sometimes when you take that type of loss, it's like, oh shit, now I know at 126, I can take anybody power. I can keep up with anybody work rate, and that gives you confidence. You can see him just in the ring, just confident against Santisima the other night. So salute to Joel Gonzalez, man.
But you did think? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he did his thing, and I can't wait to see him fight again. He's exciting. He throws a lot of punches. Very disciplined. And just a fun fight to watch, man. I enjoyed that fight. What was you about to say? Salute, Omega. I see you. Be Seminole. What up, Dr. Mark? What's popping? Mr. Mechanical, what's up, man?
And I saw you over there enjoying Mama's cooking, Omega Red. But anyway, but the thing about Joel Gonzalez, can he make now everything? The speed and the timing, everything's fine. All right, no problem. But can he make the adjustments? Because he got everything pretty much down pat. But you're gonna be fighting still for competition. You're gonna start fighting different guys with different looks. And now, does he have the ring IQ to make adjustments? And that's the only thing I didn't see in that fight. I see him making adjustments. Yes, he did the same thing because it was working. So why change it? And we'll try to fix it if it ain't broke. So that I need to, a question to be answered about that. Can he make the necessary
Yeah.
adjustments?
I think his adjustments and stuff. It's just been who he fought so far. Like you put him in there. Like who's the other champion? Like you got Mark Mixayo. You got Kiko Martinez
Right.
as a champion who's about to fight Josh Warrington. Like I think guys like Josh Warrington, Kiko Martinez, Mark Mixayo, Joel Gonzalez is right there with him. What messed him up is he fights for Top Rank. And Top Rank got the top dudes at 126. Top Rank had Oscar Valdez when he was there. They got Navarrete. They had Shakur when he was there. So the guys that he's getting in-house fights and title shots against, they the best in the world at that division. But if Joel was a DAZN fighter and he was fighting Josh Warrington or he was fighting fucking Kiko Martinez or even Kid Galahad, Joel had that smoke for their ass. He had that smoke for their ass. He just fighting the wrong ones. OG. He signed to where the Lions at down there at 126. So that's why it looked like he can't make no adjustment. Shit, you saw Jamel Herring. He looked like he could make some adjustments against Carl Frampton and shit. He got his ass in there with Shakur Stevenson. All them adjustments went out the window, bro. It's different over there at Top Rank down there at the lower weight class. Yeah, he need to be like, look, Bob, I can't win a world title over here. I need to go over here to the IBF. Let me go get some of these European, UK featherweights, and I'm gonna go beat their ass. Then I'll bring the belt back. Just let me go handle this business right.
That's why I always say they got the best amateur or best matchmaker, and they get the best prospects in the world. Top Rank is very good at getting guys out of the amateurs and coming into the pros. I'm not just talking about the Davis brothers. I'm talking about everybody. They always have just great prospects and contenders. But when they reach that certain point in their career, then they pull that string, they pull their card, then they put them on the chill. Yep, they put them on the chill.
Speaking of prospects, before we do another news story, let's get to this one real quick because this was the co-main event. And I was wondering why it was the co-main event. Man, it got down. They had the heavyweight dude, the silver medalist Richard Torrez versus Alan Melson. That shit looked like it was a barroom brawl. That didn't look like much like a boxing match. Oh, gee, what the hell was that? What did we watch?
You know what?
What was that, man?
I would have rather, and I know y'all gonna be tripping, but I rather would have seen Nico Ali Walsh.
Oh, hell no. Nah. Hey, I gotta go. I'm getting off the show. Let me get the hell out of here.
I mean, who was that? Juan Hernandez. I think he knows the young man. And he said, well, he didn't look too good against the competition, which he didn't because he didn't have nothing to work with. I know he probably was in his contract. You got to survive 2 rounds, all right? Because this is a new guy. That was his pro debut. He's a silver medalist from the Olympics in 2020, and but his skills wasn't there. But I got to say this. I got to play a little devil advocate for you, man. All right.
Okay.
Now, when you come out the amateurs, you got to get used to the crowd. Because in the amateur crowd, it's not as big, and then in the pros and a co-feature or co-main event, whatever you want to call it, then you got to get used to fighting without a shirt on. Then that takes a toll on you. Then you hear people in the crowd calling your name and all that. Got to get used to that. Then you got to get used to fighting without a head guard on. There's a lot of factors that play a part of being a pro. Come right out the amateurs. You got to get used to it. Now the Davis, they was kind of a little bit different. All right, they fought a little bit in the pros and had to go back to the amateur. I mean, it was a little bit different then because of coronavirus and stuff. So, but now a year from now, let's see how he look. Let's see he's getting used to being a pro. But I don't want that matchup shit. I don't want that soft touch. No. Now, maybe for the first 6 months or a year, maybe, okay. Then after that, then you're going to start stepping up. you know. But still in all, the competition he was fighting, he went out there, and I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know who he was, and I don't know what kind of sport he fought. I don't know what kind of gym he came
They
out
said he
of.
was. They said
You
he
know.
was an MMA fighter. They said he
Oh,
used to
okay.
be an MMA fighter before he
Okay, that's why
came
he
into the
wanted to stay
boxing
on the
ring.
fucking canvas.
He was
That's why
trying
he
to
wanted
take
to
it
go to
down. He was trying to take it
shit.
down there, do the ground and pound and shit.
Man,
Do
shit. He
some
slept and
jujitsu, man.
fed.
That shit was ugly, man. Look, Richard Torrez, he's supposed to be
Man.
a silver medalist from the Olympics, man. I would have liked to see him be able to control the distance better, but he's very aggressive. He got so aggressive, he ended up getting himself a cut right here on his forehead or whatever because they
Right.
were bumping heads. But I will say this: seemed like he got real power. Cause when he hit that dude, he busted his whole nose open
Yes,
and
they did.
put him on the ground and shit. So he looked like he got some real power. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna say it's who he was fighting. Sometimes you fight somebody that just make the fight so ugly because people like him that don't have the experience, they don't do what normal boxers do and shit. They come in
Right.
at odd angles. They throw punches from positions they shouldn't throw punches from, and so it's just odd and awkward to fight somebody. So he fought an awkward opponent and he got the knockout. And I think it's some credence and some credibility to what you're saying about him being in the pros and having to get used to the crowd because this was his hometown. That's why they made him the co-main event. Usually a guy fighting in the 6-round fight, his pro debut, he's not the co-main event on a big
Right.
fight like Jose Ramirez and Jose Pedraza. So he was a co-main event because they were fighting in his hometown. And so, fighting your first professional fight in your hometown, I don't know if that was smart
Right.
on
Right.
top of Top Rank. I know they're trying to build them and shit. So maybe there was a lot of nerves and a lot of butterflies. But anybody that's getting a knockout in their first ever professional fight, you get the win, you move on, you see if you can get better. He's still young. Just off of first, I want to say this too, though. Off of first glance, though, he is short ass heavyweight.
Yeah.
He is short ass heavyweight. I don't know, like you get to fighting them dudes that got good timing with them jabs and them strong ass right hands and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to be a short heavyweight. Like Tyson was better than him. Obviously, Tyson was a man, but part of his problem, you can't be no 5'11" heavyweight because guys like Lennox Lewis, they put them paws on your ass. They keep you out there at that distance.
That's
You
right.
get your ass pieced up. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. But I was go ahead.
No, I just think that they need to put him on a weight program too, because he wasn't in any type of shape right now, to go, let's say, a 10-round fight or whatever, So I think he need to get toned up a little bit, because he looked not big, fat. He looked fat, to me, So, but it is what it is. He won his first, he 1-0. It was a sensation fight. He won, so he won the fight. So there you go. And the other guy did survive 2 rounds, and it probably was in his contract. You last 2 rounds, don't give up.
Yeah, some shit like
but
that.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's about it with that one. All right.
AJ got a new trainer, y'all. Anthony
Oh, yeah.
Joshua has decided on his new trainer, and he fired McCracken, and he's gonna just promote somebody that was already in this corner. Angel Fernandez is his trainer. Anthony Joshua says Angel Fernandez right now. He's been in my camp for the last 3 years. Anyway, he's been at the last 3 of my world championships. So he got a new trainer.
Okay.
Angel Fernandez. What you think of that? You think it's gonna help him? I mean, the dude was already in his corner. He didn't have no answers the last time AJ fought, but hey, he thinks that he'll do a better job. What you think?
I don't think so. You can tell a fighter what to do, but his body is not going to listen. Because if he's not that type of fighter, if he don't have that type of athleticism, I mean, it's no comparison. Now, if you should come back and they go ahead and rematch and do what they need to do, usually gonna beat them again. Then they fight a third one, he gonna beat them again. Because Anthony Joshua is just flat-footed, and he's a big guy, and yes, the weight got something to do with it because he can't turn like that on a dime. He can't stop on a dime. I mean, he can walk to you, walk like this. He can pop the jab and this and that, the 1-2, but he's real slow. That's why Klitschko was a perfect match for him, because he was slow too. He was flat-footed too. But both guys, that what made it such a good fight. But now, Now Usyk is over there doing what he need to do over in Ukraine. So who Anthony Joshua is going to get in there with him?
Oh, he
So
also, yeah, you could talk about that. He also said he'd be open to an interim fight and might talk and salute Supreme Beast. I see you, bro. Who Israel? I see you. Ancestral Rage. What up? He said he will fight Joseph Parker in a rematch.
Okay.
In the interim, it's something that he's willing to take a fight while Usyk got it, over there being brave, and salute to him and everybody over there in Ukraine.
Right.
But yeah, he said he opened to him. But go ahead, just
yeah.
throw that in there.
So that might be that's a good fight for him, and I think he'll beat Parker. Parker is one of them guys that he loved to fight, but he never wins. And he's a guy from Australia, but he loved the UK. So he always fight in the UK. He fight more in the UK than he fight at home.
Facts.
But Anthony Joshua, once upon a time he was that golden boy for Eddie Hearn. But now I think that golden goose has been cooked. I think that golden goose is pretty much at the end of his rope. And I don't think he's going to be able to beat a Tyson Fury. I don't think he's going to be able to beat a Orlando Usyk. It's just what it is. Sometimes, and no matter how big or bad you think you are, or people think you are, it's always someone out there a little bit better, a little bit bigger, and pretty much will shut you down. So I think Anthony Joshua, is not he's not a has-been. Don't get me wrong. He has done good work. Now, of course, people still saying that, hey, why don't him and Deontay Wilder fight? Yes, no belts on the line. Neither one of them got a belt. But still, that would make a good fight.
Still be a great fight. Be a big fight. For
yes,
sure.
It would. It still would be a good fight because, like Derrick James said, someone asked him, hey, look, do you think Wilder should retire? He said, what for? One fight and you're going to retire? Unless he got some mental issues or physical issues. But he said, hey, no, he didn't have no big extensive background in the amateur. So he still got a little bit left, So, I would take that advice and go in there and try and get some couple fights under my belt before I get out of there, So
I agree with that. HLD NBA D nice salute. The Kqkc salute. So him switching over to this Fernandez guy, like I think it's a bad move because I don't think you like if you gonna make a trainer switch and you somebody the caliber of Anthony Joshua, just promoting somebody that was part of the team that didn't have any answers for you the first time, that shit that does nothing for me. Because this guy, if he had the answers, if he was a lead, like think about it, if he was a lead trainer like that, you would have heard him in the corner telling Rob McCracken, look, nah, this ain't what we need to do. He need to do this because he getting his ass. Well, like he didn't show no assertiveness when he was under, Rob McCracken, and he was over there just kind of as a second or third trainer. So now you promote this guy to your head trainer when he was part of the team that trained you for Usyk the first time. He was part of the team that was in the corner for you. Like, how that's gonna help you, bro? When you AJ and you got your pick of the litter, you went over there, you saw Ronnie Shields. You went over there like, why not go to Sugar Hill, Emmanuel Stewart's nephew or whatever, who seems to be really good with heavyweights. Like it's just you got your pick of the litter, and pretty much if you Anthony Joshua, because of the clout you bring, because of the money you bring, these trainers, they get 10% of your purse, so you can pick anybody, bro. You can literally go pick anybody and they will work with you for your next fight. And you choose to just promote a dude that didn't have no answers for you the first time. Right. I don't know about that shit, bro. So I don't like that shit. As far as the Joseph Parker thing, my brother Key everything boxing, he say Parker is a trash fight. He already beat Parker easily. What's the point? He needs to fight Luis Ortiz. I wouldn't be mad at that. Like to answer your question, bro, he gonna do something that's less risky because he don't want to mess up that Usyk fight. Because if he go fight an interim fight and he get his ass whooped, then that's a no-go for him. And although Luis King Kong Ortiz is passing, in my opinion, I didn't like the way his legs look in his fight against Charles Martin. Even though he got the victory, you could tell that he's not on a solid foundation anymore. Those legs are gone to me. That left hand that he got in that southpaw stance, that's a nightmare for AJ. And AJ is the type of fighter that you can knock his equilibrium out very quickly. Yeah. And he ain't never gonna say it to us or to the media and the public and shit, but he know that shit. He know he know his equilibrium messed up and all that shit. So it is what it is. The move is the move. I'm not a fan of it. I think they're far better. No disrespect again to Angel Fernandez. Get your money, get your bread, get your paper. But at the same time, I think there are much better trainers out there for him than Angel Fernandez. Now we got the main event on Friday night, OG. Then we gonna move to your boy. I know you ready to talk some Chocolatito. We almost there, but we got to talk about this Jose Ramirez and Jose Pedraza fight, man. What you got on that fight?
Well, just gonna be complicated, all right, because both guys did good work, but I think Pedraza was very excellent. He fought in the southpaw stance the whole fight. I believe every round except the first round. Then he made an adjustment because he saw how Ramirez was coming straight forward and coming straight at him and pressing the action. But Pedraza pretty much uses in and out and uses southpaw stance to go down to the body, in which he was. He fought just like a southpaw will fight. Use that right hook and come down to the sternum or the stomach with the left hand. And that's what he was doing. Then he would swing out to the right. Now, that I don't know if that's a southpaw thing or what, but Manny Pacquiao falls out to the right. Lomachenko falls out to the right. And then Earl Spence, sometimes he'll stop and go back another direction. So maybe he's a different creature. But Jose Pedraza, he was using all the ring, and he was pretty much making Ramirez miss. He was getting under those punches. And what I'm talking about, when he missed, you can see it from the bathroom. That's how big misses he was having. And Pedraza was pretty much doing, he was taking him to school. And then, of course, Ramirez still coming in. Because once you throw a lot of punches, you sooner or later, you're going to hit. And he started hitting. Now the punches were wide, but he still was landing. He was landing on the left, right kidneys, and he was landing. And Pedraza, he was doing a great job. He still spent out of there, stayed off the ropes, and used the check hook to get out of there and bring it right back to the center of the ring. So Pedraza did a great job so far. Then as we got on into the later rounds, and then Pedraza seemed like he was giving a little bit out of gas, but he still was trying to get in and get out. Now, Ramirez still was a trooper. Ramirez still thought he was winning like every round and putting up his hand. Yeah. But then,
he from that Robert Garcia camp. That's that Mikey Garcia shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mike Garcia, Earl Spence beating on his ass. Earl Spence beating the shit out of Mike Garcia. After every round, Mike.
Yeah, he right. Yeah,
bro, you getting your ass whooped.
Right, his nose bleeding.
What you talking about, bro? Yeah. Jose Ramirez learned from the best, OG.
Yes, sir. So did he look weight drained? A little bit, and that plays a part too. Now, I had Ramirez winning, but I thought he would be a little bit stronger than what he was, and it didn't seem like it because he didn't have a chance because he kept missing. Pedraza, the sniper was sniping, baby. He was going under them punches. He was getting under those punches, and he was going to the left, he was going to the right. Then he'll change and boom, go right down to the body. But that did not slow Ramirez down. Ramirez was still determined to show everybody that I still got it. I still am the champion. What Josh Taylor did to me wasn't shit. All right, I'm still here. I'm still standing. So soon Josh leaves, I'm getting one of them belts. That's what he wanted to prove Friday night, and that's what he did. He got the victory. But Pedraza was right there. And he could have won that fight, actually. And he was scoring. He was scoring with the right and left. He didn't fight the style that he usually fight. And that style with the herky-jerky move like this, in and out.
Yeah, he fought off his back foot a lot more, but it was hard for him to do that herky-jerky shit and jump in because Ramirez was already walking to him. So if he already walking to you, it's nowhere for you to jump into because I'm already coming to you. But Reggie Milligan, Damon Wester, Kqkc, salute to all y'all. That's me. What's up? Man, look, so I ain't mad at the decision. I know a lot of people might feel like Pedraza could have took it. I personally scored it 7-5 for Ramirez. It was a lot of swing rounds in there. So if you scored it for Pedraza, that's cool. The thing is though, they were fighting in Ramirez's hometown. Now I know we got this ongoing theme on both our channels. Like, I think you gotta knock the A-side hometown fighter out. Like, that's what it's starting to look like. So a lot of you guys like pay attention to where these people fighting at. when you're picking these fights, and who's what, and what's the likelihood of a knockout. But as far as the fight itself, I thought Pedraza did some really good counter punching. I thought that Pedraza had really good feet in this fight. I love the pivots that he was doing, but he was doing what you always say, OG. He was making Ramirez miss a lot, but he didn't make him pay enough.
No,
he didn't make Ramirez pay enough. He could have set down on some of them counters a lot more and been a little bit more aggressive. But again, Pedraza coming up from a smaller weight class, not having that much power anyway. I don't know if he felt confident that he could that he could hurt Ramirez or stop him. And I want to say two things are aging very, very well. Two things are aging very well right now. Number one, Tank Davis's win over Pedraza. The better that Pedraza keeps performing at 140 against somebody like Ramirez and the fights he's had and the people he's beat at 140, that Tank Davis win is starting to look a lot better on his resume against Pedraza, because Pedraza's looking not that bad at 140 pounds.
No, he's not.
The second thing that's aging well, when I told people that Gary Antoine Russell is a problem and he beats all these dudes at 140 pounds, y'all want to tell me that Jose Ramirez and that Jose Pedraza that showed up Friday night, y'all don't think Gary Antoine Russell can beat those guys with the way that they look? And that's the top of the division, y'all. So, 140 about to open up. I need Josh Taylor. And I said this too, OG. Like, how long are we going to let Josh Taylor just sit around and not make a decision? Right. Like, I understand, like, give that man a month. What he just fought, like 2 weeks ago? By the end of March, I need to know what he doing, bro. Are you fighting at 140 again? Or are you fighting at 147? It's time for you to make a decision and vacate them hoes, man. Let's keep this boxing shit going. I don't want you just holding this shit hostage. But overall, I ain't gonna lie, I thought the fight would be better between Ramirez and Pedraza. I thought the styles would clash a lot more, but they didn't. Pedraza was very, very defensively sound, and I think a little too defensively oriented. That's why he ended up not getting the decision. But overall, man, it was a good fight. You know, I thought it was a good fight, and I think Jose Ramirez is in line for another title shot. I think Top Rank is gonna wait to see what Josh Taylor does, and they'll probably vacate those belts. They'll probably vacate those belts, and I guarantee you Jose Ramirez probably be fighting for a WBO 140-pound title sometime later on this year.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we want to go. You want to go to the Chocolatito card, or was you trying to read this comment right here?
Oh, no, I just put the comment up there. But Kqkc said, funny how we didn't hear a peep from AJ while Usyk was available, but now he's not available. AJ suddenly coming out of hiding and flexing.
Yeah, man. AJ, sure.
Yeah.
Listen, man. AJ, I respect him for always going and rematching people that beat him, so I'm not gonna go in on him too hard. But yeah, there's some credence to that. You know what I mean? But staying busy, I don't have a problem with, because he don't know how long that stuff with Usyk is gonna go down. But yeah, man, I don't think AJ is confident, nor do I think he should be confident that he can beat Alexander Usyk, because the shit he would have to do to be successful in that fight, selling out, trying to go for the knockout the first 4 or 5 rounds, because you know you're gonna gas anyway, and you can't box with Usyk, so you literally got to go in knowing you got about 4 or 5 rounds to get it done. Be willing to take shots to give yours and hopefully hurt Usyk. That's what he would have to do to win. I don't think he got the confidence up here, and I don't think he got the heart right here to get that shit done. From what I seen in his second fight with Ruiz, in the first fight with Usyk, like I don't. Even Pulev, like he didn't look the same against Pulev. He got the knockout, but he wasn't that same destroyer come forward like Ruiz. When Ruiz beat his ass in the Madison Square Garden, he took something from AJ, bro, that I don't think he'll ever be able to get back. Just my opinion. But let's go to this other card, man, because we got
one more thing. Go
ahead.
With Pedraza, style made fights. I always say that, and the style that he fought Gervonta Davis it was a different style. Well, he was expecting a different style. I said this many times, but the style that he fought Ramirez style that's a good style for him. You know, that's a good style.
Yeah, I like him fighting like that. Yeah.
Right, I like that, and it's starting to show now. I mean, his last 2 fights, he's been looking real good. He been look good. It's like he have a new foundation on his boxing skills. It's like he been rejuvenated a little bit, but still, 140. Do you think 140 can become that glamour division like 147? Because it's getting deep. It's getting deep. It's
It's
getting
getting
deep.
deep. It's more of a gateway division though to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why they
Okay.
put it there. So I think like Gary Antoine Russell, like while he might be the man, like what he gonna be there like maybe another year or two, then he gonna be at 147. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like Devin Haney, he'll probably come up in there, stay there for a while, but guys usually they don't usually be where they stay at, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like guys either they'll come up there and they'll either go back up to 147, or guys will come up there and then they go back down to 135, because that's where those are divisions that have been around a long time. 140 is a gateway division. I think it's very deep right now, but you think of the top dogs, like how long can Regis continue to make 140? He already
Right.
missed weight like one time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I think when he was fighting on the Triller card, he missed weight and shit. So how long can he make 140? Josh Taylor about to
Right.
dip. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then Gary Antoine Russell, he getting older and stronger. So, 27, he's 25 right now, 26, 27 years old. He may be looking to jump up to 147 pounds. So, I mean, I think that it got a chance for the next year. That's why I want Josh Taylor to hurry up and get the hell out of here. I think for the next year or two, that shit'll be popping. That shit'll be buzzing like 154 as long as they all fight each other. But I think eventually those guys will find their way out of the division and we'll keep it moving. But man, this Chocolatito card, man.
Yes, sir.
We got let's talk about this Soco versus Valenzuela fight, man. That was a very entertaining fight. Extremely entertaining, man. What you got on that Soliman Sissoko and Robert Valenzuela fight? Sissoko. His name is Sissoko. Soliman Sissoko.
I know.
Or Cisco, whatever you call him. Yeah. Yeah, Cisco.
Yeah. That was a good fight. But you know what? I just want the Pacheco fight. That was a good fight. I know a lot of people.
Pacheco, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't see that. I just want to mention that real fast. That was a great fight. And he's fighting under the tutelage of Jose Benavidez Sr. And he did a great job. And he's only 20 years old. So if y'all ever get a chance to go back and catch this fight, maybe it might be on YouTube or something.
It's on YouTube, man. Y'all can go. Y'all can always go back to your DAZN app and play the Before the Bell. It's the last fight on the Before the Bell, right before the card yesterday. You can always go if you got DAZN and you miss a fight. You can always just go check it out the next day. So if y'all didn't see that kid Pacheco, the OG talking about it, man, he looked good.
He looked good. He's tall. He's rangy, and man, he can punch. And he knows how to use an angle. I like to step around. Then he came back with the left hand and just got him out of there. So now getting back to Cisco. Okay, I call him Cisco because don't know how to pronounce the last name. But anyway, he fought a good fight too. That was a 5 card. I'm not mad at none of the cards actually last night, and that was a great fight with them. Both of them guys was fighting. Both of them guys were doing what they had to do. Cisco, he was going upstairs, downstairs. And you know what? Last night was great body work. I have to say that. A lot of people didn't catch on to it because people were looking at the headshots, but it was great body work. Everybody starting right out the gate with great body work. I'm trying to remember all the accolades that he did, but because there were so many fights I call. But yeah, he went upstairs, he went downstairs, he went to the left, he went to the right, but he still was on point. He still did a great job getting in and getting out. And his opponent, what was the name again? I forgot his name.
Valenzuela, Roberto Valenzuela.
Right, Venezuela, right. Now, Venezuela was trying to match him up. He was trying to match speed with speed. He was trying to show him that, hey, I'm a tough guy too. I'm going to get in here and fight with you too. But that was a mistake. You don't go in there and try to brawl with a brawler. And, he paid the price for it too. He paid the price for it because Cisco was right there taking his time, and he was slapping him with the left and rights and going downstairs, upstairs, and going to the left, right kidney. And, then here comes Venezuela. Venezuela wanted to give it back. He wanted to pretty much show him that, hey, I am game. Hey, I can hang with you. But I think the onslaught was just too much for Venezuela. And that's what happened on the onslaught. And that's why the referee jumped in and said, you get hit flush with too many shots. And he finally realized that he can't compete with that power. and that's what happened with that one. I think that Cisco always had the great, left and right fundamentals. They're going up,
Yeah.
down, and Toma jabbing, and he was shoving, jabbing. He was doing it all. So
Yeah.
it
Yes,
was a great fight.
Sissoko, he fight under the tutelage of Virgil Hunter. And
Right.
so you can
Mhm.
see he well schooled, and
Yes.
he had nice feet in that fight. He
Mhm.
did that defense, as you said, got lax, but as a result, shit, in round 5, they might have put up the round of the year because he got his ass knocked down, and then
Yep.
he got up and he caught Valenzuela with a mean ass right hand, knocked his
Yep.
ass down. So it was just, other than that, he controlled the fight with his jab. He controlled the fight with his better counter punching ability. And
Mhm.
Valenzuela, he got the power and he looking to slug.
Mhm.
He don't have the feet, and he don't have the he can't cut the ring off. He got so mad. He stopped chasing Sissoko a couple of times. He's
Right.
like, man, come here, man.
Yeah. Come
Let's
in.
fight.
Eh,
Sissoko like, hell no, I'm piecing your ass up. keep
Right.
keep walking into this shit. And so as a result, man, Sissoko just did his thing all the way to a unanimous decision victory. And he putting on for his country of France, man. He really, really is. The
Yeah.
next fight,
Oh,
the next fight.
wait. Let me just
Oh, go
add
ahead.
this real fast. Okay. But see, he had great fundamental skills. I mean, he was boxing, getting in, getting out, use ring generalship. He going down to the stern, then he go upstairs, go downstairs, and Venezuela was missing, and that's why that eye was looking like it was looking, because when he
He
go
beat him up.
downstairs, right, when he go downstairs with the left hand, then he come up with the big right, wham, right. Venezuela caught
Mm-hmm.
it with the eye, and then Venezuela was swinging big, and I'm telling you, when you swing big like that and you sit down on your punches and you miss, everybody in the crowd can see it. And that
Yeah.
really, really looks bad. That really
Yeah.
looks
And more
bad.
importantly,
You know?
everybody in the crowd can see it, but more importantly, you get your ass countered.
Yes,
Because
of
if we
course.
can see you missing that wide, imagine what the person in the ring with you can see. You leave your whole body, neck, head,
Yes.
everything open. And
Yeah.
Sissoko took advantage. He was just faster and better and more skilled in
That
every
what
area. He just
uh,
hopefully though, man. Look, this is the second fight because in his Kieran Conway fight, so
uh,
he had a fight with Kieran Conway, then he had an interim fight in his home country in France, then he had this fight. Two
okay.
of his last 3 fights, he done got his ass knocked down. He done got put down. So I'm
Wow.
not saying he chinny. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you need to make sure that you are on your P's and Q's defensively at all
Mhm.
times. Sometimes Sissoko will get lazy, go back with
Mhm.
his chin in the air, and that's how
Right.
Valenzuela caught him, and that's how Conway caught him. So he gotta be
Right.
on his P's and Q's. But he definitely got skills, and he right there, kind of fringe contender, 154 pounds.
Mhm.
He
Right.
he he knocking on the door of a potential title shot if he keeps stepping up in competition and doing what he need to do. The next fight, man, I
Okay.
ain't gonna lie. This fight for me was kind of, it was the less, what do I say? Like, I don't want to say not entertaining, but of all the fights on this card, this was the one that was probably, it didn't hold up to the other fights. And that's this Angel Fierro versus Juan Carlos Burgos. And I gotta say, I'm surprised because Angel Fierro, he trained by Eric Morales, and then Juan Carlos Burgos, he's usually an action-packed fighter, but this fight, it underwhelmed. They ended up scoring it a draw.
Mhm.
Um, I felt like personally, I scored it 6-4 for Burgos, but he was there to be the B side and shit. So I wasn't surprised with the draw. I actually told you in your
Mhm.
chat, and I told people in the chat they were going to end up scoring it a draw right after the fight before the scorecards came out. But what you got on this fight, man? Did you, when you were calling it, was it entertaining? Was it lacking something for you? Break down that fight between Fierro and Juan Carlos Burgos for us.
Well, it was entertaining, but it's just like someone just couldn't take over the fight. It seemed like
Mm.
no one was dominating, you know, and that was missing. Now, sure, Fierro was going down to the body. Fierro was trying to, use his combinations, and then Burgess, he was going upstairs. He was going downstairs. They was pretty much tip for tap, but no one really took hold of that fight and got aggressive and was pretty much winning, let's say 2 rounds in a row or 3 rounds in a row. It was back and forth, back and forth. Now that's how I had it while I was looking at it. Sometimes when I'm calling fights, I really don't look at it. I have to go back and watch it. And but
Mm-hmm.
but still, the punches with Fierro, he was trying to pretty much go downstairs, and he wasn't a bigger puncher. Burgos was. Burgos was the biggest puncher, but he didn't know how to throw like that. He had to step in a little closer. Then the next round as the fight went on, it seemed like both guys was getting farther apart. Not besides closer together, they were getting farther apart. But the body shot started wear and tear on Fierro because I saw how he was breathing. He was breathing real hard. Like I tell everybody, them body shots, that's a lost art. But still, both guys really didn't take control of the fight. So that's why it ended up the way it ended up. But still in all, when you get hit the same way, the same time, that's what happens with your eye. So, but basically, that's all I had with that fight. So
yeah, for me, Fierro, they made an investment in him. They bought him over the Matchroom. They signed him. I don't know, man. I think it's something missing there. He had some good counterpunching in the first round, and he looks like he got good pop on his punches, but the feet are flat. The volume is very, very low for somebody that's only 23 years old, and it seemed like he just didn't have that passion, that fire. I don't know. Maybe Burgos was able to grind his pace to a halt, and he wasn't able to get his stuff off the way he wanted to. But I honestly, and Eric Morales was trying to tell him in the corner, he was like, "Look, man, you got to throw more punches. You got to try to be exciting. You got to go take over the fight." And he just, for whatever reason, he got trigger shot. He wouldn't pull the trigger. And Juan Carlos Burgos, man, he's a tough veteran competitor. And if you're a prospect at the lightweight division and you want to look good, you might want to stay away from Juan Carlos Burgos, because listen, man, guys don't really look good against him. You know what I'm saying? Xavier Martinez got a victory. He didn't look good. Devin Haney didn't shine how he wanted to shine on him. Like, in Burgos, for all them fights, he ain't never been knocked out. So, he came in and did his job. I really wish, though, I felt like he did the better work, and I gave him the victory. But you know how these promoters are, man. If you the A side and it's a close fight, typically they're gonna give it to the younger fighter because they feel like he got more fights left and he got a longer career and shit. But overall, that fight underwhelming to me, especially when you consider all the other fights we got to witness last night. So, but a good little scrap, good little scrap for a normal night. But this was a night full of great fights. And before we get to the next one, because we only got 2 left, Gervonta Davis and Rolly Romero is back on for June the 4th. Is what's being reported. Now, Tank Davis came out and said that June 4th is not the date. It might be May 28th, but either way, that fight is back on. It's been rescheduled. I got mixed emotions about it, OG. Like, I'm happy that Rolly, that those accusations, they turned out to be false, and he's getting his shot to make more money. But for Tank Davis, I hate the fight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. What do you think of that fight? And what's your thoughts on it, man? Is that something? And they say it's gonna be on pay-per-view too, Showtime pay-per-view. So what you think of that
fight? Well, I figured that, because Gervonta Davis and everything, but this is the WBA working. All right, this is what they initially was going to do. The whole thing got started because of the belts, the secondary belts, the regular belts from the WBA. So that's how this pretty much came about. And then the accusations for Rolly and, being a freak or whatever he was doing. But he was cleared of it. But Rolly, he's retarded. Rolly is slow. But Rolly can sell a fight. And he can sell a fight by just being stupid. But still in all, once he get in that ring, he's going to find out. Now, keep in mind, Rolly is the bigger fighter. And he also has a big punch, but he doesn't know how to throw it. He doesn't have the fundamental skills that Gervonta Davis has. He don't have the strength of a Gervonta Davis. Now, is this an easy win for Gervonta Davis? I believe so. Would it be a surprise? Will Rolly come out and just surprise us? I don't think so. But I think it's just a fight that need to be done and get out the way. Now, of course, Floyd, he's going to be the winner out of both of that because everything going to go in his pocket. He's going to get 20%, 40%, because 20% from each guys, because they both fight for TMT. So therefore, I think that Gervonta Davis want to go ahead and get this fight out the way. Because remember, this ain't a fight he wants. This fight was
Yeah.
ordered. This fight was ordered. So, you must go through with it. I mean, hell, you think Earl Spence wanted Ocampo? No, that was his mandatory. He had to fight him. So I mean, it is what it is. And like I say, you're gonna have to get rid of Rolly, and you're gonna have to try to get him out of there as soon as possible. Now, another thing, to all you out there listening, all 50 somethings, whatever out there listening, make sure you hit the like button, but also be careful. Because like now, I don't know how much that pay-per-view is going to be. But I guarantee you, Rolly Romero, if he's not using his range generalship by lateral movement for the first 4 rounds, 5 rounds, this fight might not last past 3 rounds. And there you go, your $69 damn. I'm being honest, I'm being honest.
He said 3 rounds.
3 rounds, because
you put Rolly Romero and lateral movement in the same sentence. That shit an oxymoron. I don't know how you did.
I mean, because I don't want to say running, right? I don't want to say running, get out the way. But Rolly, when he throws downstairs, he tries to go to the sternum, but he slides. He can leave his head out there exposed. And that's sepulchral to an uppercut. And Gervonta Davis is no dummy. He will uppercut him. He will uppercut him or hit him with a nice left hook. Leo Santa Cruz went to sleep. Now Rolly is not a Leo Santa Cruz. So Rolly's going to either, like I said, use that lateral movement, which I don't want to say running, but stay out the way, and get out the way. Or if you stand right in front of Gervonta Davis, night. Because Gervonta Davis, he is a star. I mean, we got to be honest. This guy is a star. This guy not only put asses in the seats, but he got the fundamental skills. He has the strength, and if Floyd allow him to step up, I said this once before, if Floyd allow him to step up, he can be a better Gervonta Davis. Because I tell you right now that if you fight a guy that's at the same level you are, maybe a tad bit above you, that would bring out the best of you. You'll be surprised what level that Gervonta Davis can go. He can fight at a 10, but he fight a better competition. He up there at a 15. Then next thing you know, he going to 20. And next thing you know, he going up and up. And next thing you know, he is a power puncher. He is a great fundamental fighter. He got the whole tools. He fight on the inside. He can fight on the outside. But Floyd won't let that dog hunt. That's what I'm saying. And that's what the problem come in at. So right now, he's pretty much in a catch-22. Damn if he do, and damn if he don't. So that's all I got.
All facts. Be in boxing news, YGB22, James, Mansa Musa Lifestyle, Will Sargenson, Unscripted Virtuoso, King D. What's up, y'all? Salute to all y'all coming through and hanging out with us. Man, listen, the Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero fight, man, I understand it's a mandatory, and I get what you're saying, Kqkc, but I just watched Al Heyman, who is Tank Davis's advisor, and him and Floyd a real time. I just watched him make a whole WBA tournament go away for Udinese Ugas and Earl Spence. I watched him make that whole shit go away.
Yes, he did.
Like Ugas had 2 fights. He had to fight this fighter, then he had to fight the winner of this shit. Like he was about to be tied up for the whole year, and poof, they made that shit go away. So when they say it's a mandatory between Rolly and Tank, like I'm like, if y'all really didn't want this fight, if Floyd didn't want this fight, if Al and them didn't want this fight, that shit wouldn't be happening in my book. So that's the first thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard Floyd before this shit got ordered the first time. I heard him say, "Well, we only doing in-house fights. We ain't making no other company great." So you say that shit, and then boom, all of a sudden you get ordered to fight Tank Davis and Rolly Romero. Like I think it's a lot of tea leaves that says that Floyd and them, they twisted some arms, just like the WBO is whatever Bob orders. The WBA, in my opinion, is we back Al. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much got a really good relationship with them. But as far as the fight itself, the reason I like it for Rolly because he is the interim champion. Even though I felt like he lost to Martinez and he should have got that L but he is the interim champion at the WBA. I'm for them getting rid of the belts. And at the end of the day, if those accusations are not true, which right now is looking like they're not true, the charge has been dropped, whatever the case may be, he does deserve a chance to. He said he want to buy his mother a house, earn a living, whatever. He does deserve that shot. I don't like the fight for Tank Davis because he's in a lose-lose situation, OG. And it does nothing for him. If he goes in there and Rolly lands one shot, he land one shot, oh shit, Tank Davis got exposed. God forbid he rock Tank a little bit, or God forbid this is somehow a competitive fight. That's a lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Tank Davis goes in there and he starches Rolly. The first round, Rolly don't get shit. Don't get shit off. Tank just boom, walk through his ass. That's still a lose-lose situation because people gonna be like, oh shit, bro, it was Rolly. It was Rolly. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you were supposed to do that shit. He ain't gonna get credit for the shit. So to me, in boxing, you only have a certain amount of time that you get to fight and shit. And so to me, OG, that's a wasted fight when you only fight 2 times a year anyway. So we probably ain't gonna see you 3 times because you don't fight 3 times a year. You fight 2 times a year. So the one of the fights, half of your year is spent on Rolly Ramiro, bro. And then here you are, 28 years old. So your 27-year-old year of boxing, you gonna give us Rolly and then another fight. If the next fight ain't a super fight, then that's a wasted year to me, OG. What if the next fight is just like, what if he give us Rolly and then they give us an Isak Pitbull Cruz rematch? Because don't think I don't see the play. They got Isak Pitbull Cruz fighting Gamboa next, building him back up. If Isak Cruz go out there and he beat the shit out of Gamboa, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try to sell us on a Tank Davis Isak Pitbull Cruz rematch. And then now your 2022 was Rolly Ramiro in a rematch with Isak Pitbull Cruz. Like to me, I think there are way better fights for him. And that's why I'm like, damn, bro, like I ain't really for this fight. But we only got 2 more fights, y'all. Salute to box fans. OG, you got anything else on this before we get to the co-main event?
No, only thing about it is that, you know, why would Al Haymon would want this fight to go ahead? That's the only question I have. You know, yes, he stopped you guys in the tournament. Now, why would he will want Rolly and Gervonta Davis?
Because all the fights that we want to see Tank in, they got to share money. Think of the fights you want to see. You want to see him with Devin Haney, they got to share that money with DAZN and Bill Haney and them. You want to see him fight Lomachenko, they got to share that money with Top Rank. But you get to see him with Rolly, they get all that money. They ain't sharing it with nobody. That's an in-house fight. So that's why that's the reason I would come up with if you asking me, like, shit, cause he want to keep all his money, bro. He know like all these, like, I ain't gonna just put that shit on Al Haymon. All these promoters are known for that shit.
Yeah,
all of them are known for that shit. They want to keep all their money. So if I can make this fight over here and I get to keep all my money and I get to make it look like this is an ordered fight, then shit, yeah, let me get that easy bread. But if I gotta go make a fight with Lomachenko, I gotta share money with Bob. People forget that Al Haymon and Bob Arum just got out of very, very harsh litigation.
Yes.
For Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So they ain't rushing to do business together and shit, bro. They not trying to do that shit. They are kind of at like a Cold War type of situation. So that Lomachenko Tank fight, I mean, I want to see it. Don't get me wrong. And then Lomachenko, he doing this shit in the Ukraine anyway. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is over there. But yeah, I just think in-house money, OG, to answer your question.
Okay.
I think it is. But let's go to the co-main event, man. This one, this one knockout of the year for me so far. Mauricio Lara versus Emilio Sanchez. Man, that knockout there, that shit was nasty, man. That shit was nasty. What you got on that fight, man? What you think of that, man? You think more? And then after you talk about the fight, what you think of Mauricio Lara at 126 pounds? He already knocked out Josh Warrington, and then he had Josh Warrington damn near try to knock his head off with a headbutt because he was beating his ass in the second fight, and then now he go and get this knockout against Emilio Sanchez. Man, what, like, can Mauricio Lara be world champion? What you think of the young man, OG?
Yeah, he can be world champion, but he gonna have to pretty much shorten his punches up and not being so wide. But he got strength. He got strength, no doubt about that. We seen that last night. Now, for that fight last night, I mean, Lara, he was on point. And it looked like he was kind of rushing in the first round, and like he was trying to, I know I can beat this guy. Let me get this guy out of here now. All right, but it didn't work out that way. All right, now of course Sanchez said, you know what, I'm finna box this guy. I know he's the favorite, but I'm gonna show everyone that I can fight too. Big mistake. Big mistake. All right. So he went there and he was throwing his uppercuts. He was throwing his left. He was throwing his rights. He was going downstairs. He was going upstairs. He was throwing little short uppercuts. Then Laura was coming back. Not too much, just a little bit, but not too much. But just let him know, okay, I'm still here. And then here comes Sanchez again. Sanchez had him against the ropes. Sanchez said, okay, you know what? Hey, I got this thing. All right. Sanchez said, hey, look, I'm feeling good. All right. I'm feeling good. Then bam, bam, bam. Then, of course, Laura started coming back. He started coming back. Okay. Tip for tap. But then Laura said, you know what? Then, and someone asked me in the chat too last night. That canvas is always so damn slippery with the zone. I don't know why. Everybody that comes out there, almost every fight last night, they wiping their feet or they sliding or they falling and shit like that. Matter of fact, Laura's fell down once, and he asked the referee, "Can you help me up?" Referee said, "Get your ass up."
Yeah, get your ass up. You tired and you hurt.
Yeah,
Cause he took a body shot that hurt his ass. You know, he been early in his career, he got stopped to the body in the first round. Early in his career, so he ain't good at taking a body shot for sure.
Oh man, little Keith Thurman. Okay, but then Laura, he came in and got back in there, and of course he came in and started landing. He started landing with mean attentions. I mean, these shots started getting harder and harder and harder. And then he started just pretty much like, you know what? Let me get this over with. And then he came with a left. He came with the right. Then he slapped him with another left. Then he slapped him with another right. Then he tried to go downstairs, but he changed his mind and went upstairs. And then he clocked him with the left. Then he clocked him with the right hand. Then he finished it off with a nice left. And he knocked him out. He knocked him out back on his back legs. His legs was backwards as he fell back. And the referee damn near tripped too. So he almost knocked out the referee ass too for not helping him up. But still, it was a good fight. Laura is a good fighter. Only thing about it is that to get in there with someone like a Navarrete, you're going to have to close those punches. He punches too wide. Now, he has power, no doubt about that. But the power, you got to be pinpoint on with your punches. You got to have a great punch placement. Now, if that's some other fighter that you're going in there with, he gonna put his glove up. You gonna be hitting up with gloves, So he gonna have to have some good punch placement because he was slapping like this, and he got strength. And he was moving on Venezuela. So, I mean, it was a good fight. And matter of fact, it was a damn good fight. I think he stole the show.
That shit was fire. It was the most. It was only 3 rounds, but that shit. It was competitive, and I want to say a couple of things. So first of all, I apologize if this shit don't sound good or it's not politically correct, but I absolutely positively love knockouts where the dude like put the dude to sleep and then he hit him again while he on the way down. That shit looks so fire to me, but I'm glad Emilio Sanchez is okay. But man, Mauricio Lara
he kind of violent at you, man.
Man, I don't know. That shit, man. That shit. It just looked like an action movie. Like you catch him, then he already asleep. Then you catch him again on the way down. Like damn. Mauricio Lara, right now, that's my knockout of the year. Y'all know we do the knockout awards on the show and shit, and we give our end of the year awards, the best and the worst. And right now, man, Mauricio Lara took the cake, but I think if he get tighter with his defense, because he actually can slip and he actually got good defense, but he went in there reckless because he didn't respect Sanchez. If you go watch his fight with Warrington, he was much better defensively, much better slipping, much better counterpunching and shit like that. So he got some skills, but he got an X factor, man. That power at 126 for him, he's proven that shit is real, man. Like he putting dudes to sleep, and he got that strength for sure. Now, I think he can get in the war with the likes of Navarrete, but over there where he fighting it, like on the DAZN tip right now, where they champions and they best fighters is like Warrington and Kiko Martinez is the IBF champion. Guys like that, man, shit. All right. You put Mauricio Lara in there with one of them and see what happened. Mauricio Lara he's something vicious and he a savage. And I really like what I see from him now. Like I was saying when you were going OG, I don't like that he can't take a body shot. I don't like that shit because he got knocked out in like his 6th or 7th fight. I believe it was by a body shot in the first round by a fighter. I can tell you right now, the fighter that knocked him out, this dude, hold on. Let me see here. Where is it? Okay, yeah, this dude right here, his name is Elliot Chavez. And since knocking Mauricio Lara out, he got like a 10-4 record, and he got knocked out himself 3 times. So you know, he got knocked out by a fighter that ain't popping like that. So I do worry about his ability to take a body shot. And then Emilio Sanchez, he hurt him to the body in the 3rd round. That's why when OG said Mauricio Lara was asking for help up, that's why he was asking for help up, because he was going down that mud. He was trying to tackle Emilio Sanchez. He was so hurt to that body. But he got up, got mad, and did what he did. So shit, salute to him. They got something with Mauricio Lara. He gonna be box office must-see TV when it comes to the zone and shit. Like if you see him on the card, I'm watching that shit. I watch all of that shit anyway, but I'm checking for that shit. Skywalker in the building. What up, Tim Muze? I see you. Says, damn, I keep picking these underdogs on competitive fights and they don't perform. Tim, you gotta listen to your boy, bro. That's why it's called the TKO show. Trust knockout, bro. That's why it's called the TKO prediction show. You gotta trust me, bro. It wouldn't even went that way for you. But overall, man, great performance by Mauricio Lara. He showed that power was real yet again. And I'm gonna say this last thing, and we'll get to the big fight. Josh Warrington should not be fighting Kiko Martinez for a title shot. It should be Mauricio Lara. Josh Warrington does not deserve that shot. We got to get boxing out of this mind where it's a popularity contest and not a results-based business. Mauricio Lara beat his ass. He should be the one getting the fight. But, you know, it is what it is. I just want to make sure I say that because I've been campaigning for that shit for a while on the channel. Last fight, OG. The last one, the big one, baby. Chocolatito, your boy Chocolatito went in there and did his thing against this young gun, Julio Cesar Martinez. Man, what do you think of that fight? And what's next for Chocolatito? And then what's next for Julio Cesar Martinez, too? Because if you took his heart out of his body and you put that shit in Chris Colbert, you'd have a world champion. But unfortunately, Martinez, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to get it done. But break down the fight for us, and then where do both fighters go from here, man?
Okay, well, first of all, shout out to Julio Cesar Martinez. He came in there and he had a game plan, and the game plan was playing out. Then it kind of wore out, and that's because of the type of fighter he was in there with. But he had the heart. He had a great heart, and he went out on his shield. No, he didn't go out on his back. No, he went out on his shield. What means that he got pieced up against the ropes in the middle, everywhere in that ring, but he finished that fight standing upright. So, but Roman Gonzalez, Chocolito, he is a great fighter. Now, of course, I was telling W_right side, hey, what am I, chalk liver? You was right. You was right, knockout. He can't keep up with the work rate, right? I said, damn, I said that too. I was like, damn, I said that too. What the hell? I don't believe it.
Well, hey, I said, yeah. You did say that shit. OG said that shit too. Y'all give him his props.
I said, damn, nobody gonna give me props. I said, I know knockout good and everything, but damn. but Roman Gonzalez, he was patient. This is what separates the men from the boys. This is what separates an elite fighter from a prospect, from a rookie, from any other type. This is what he does. This is what he does. This is what he has been doing. He always got that bent over style. Always got that left foot frontward and that right foot back and bent over and ready to throw. Earmuffs up and ready to throw. And then he throw a right hand back in place, ready for the counter. Throw a left hand right back in place for the counter. Then he come with a 1-2. Then he go down to the body, back, what, back, back, back. Then he'll change angles. Then he pretty much box you on the left side, right side, front and back. He threw last night over 2,000 and some odd punches for the whole fight. That's a lot of punches to be throwing. 2,000, I believe, or 2,076, something like that. He threw, and he landed. Well, through the 6th round, he landed 50%.
Oh, you talking about Kqkc? I got it pulled up right here. He threw 1,076
for the whole
fight.
Oh, whole fight. Okay, I was wrong then. Okay, but through 6 rounds, I think he landed 50% of his punches, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then that power punches. I mean, he threw 50% of his power punches, and that is great. Now, of course, they asked him this question. Okay, well, where you see yourself now? Are you gonna try to retire? He said, retire? No, I'm planning on going up and getting another title. You know, and we talking about a guy that will be 35 in a couple months. You know, so I mean, you know, if people don't like these little guys, you better start watching them because they are exciting. They are exciting. They will have you on your seat of. They will have your ass on the seat of your chair. And trust me, because like I told you once before, Alexis Arguello, all right, was his mentor, and he worked out of that gym, and that's how they pretty much got together. But you know the backstory. But this guy can fight. Now he did have a rough patch. He did have a couple of hiccups, all right, and he lost and got knocked out in one fight. He had about 2-3 losses on his belt. But this is what champions do. This is what makes a champion. When you able to bounce back and continue on your work rate, when you're able to bounce back and fight another great competitor, that's what makes a great fight. And that what made him a great fighter. And that will continue on making him a great fighter. Why? Because he took his time. He didn't rush. He took his time. If you listen to his corner, because I went back and watched it last night. If you listen to his corner said, hey, look, you know what to do. All right, you know what to do. You know what to do. Like he told him in the 12th round. You know he's gonna come out for 1 minute and he's gonna run out of breath. So you know what to do when he come out in that first minute. You know, so I'm like, wow, okay. And Chocolito, he just looking and like, okay, yeah, I know what to do. And that's what he did. You know, I mean, the kid got great balance, great ring IQ. He's a kid to me. Great ring IQ. I mean, you know, everything was perfect with him, right? And he's a very humble dude. He's very humble and very religious, you know. So when you got a combination of all those, that makes a perfect fighter. That makes an elite fighter, and that makes a fighter that, hey, you know what? Put me in there with anybody. Put me in there with anybody, and I will be victorious. I will be victorious. And you know what? And that fight had me on my seat because you know when you see him on the cards, when you see him headlining, you know you're gonna get a fight. You know you're gonna be excited. You know you're gonna have a good time when you watch him fight. That's boxing. That is the sweet science, and he shows you the sweet science. He shows you how he uses angles. He shows you how he can change directions. He can show you how he stay off the ropes. He can show you how he can turn you around off the ropes. I mean, it's just, you know, great boxing, you know, and I'm kind of high on this guy because I really like him. And I started off calling fights with him because I didn't know how to call fights at the time, but he was throwing so many damn punches, I had to pick up my mouth and, you know, keep going faster and faster.
Yeah, shit, you was the Julio Cesar Martinez of calling fights. You had to keep up with the work rate. You could,
yes, you're right.
You couldn't keep up at first.
I had to keep up with the work rate, and that was in the old HBO days. You know, HBO was pushing him real hard. Him and Triple G. You know, so I really like what he did last night, and now what I see next for him is moving up to another weight class. Now, I believe he said that, or was it Xena 360? I don't know, but yes, two of them weight classes again can be consolidated. because we got too many weight classes right there close together, like 118 and 122. That's kind of close together. But but I can see Charlito moving up in weight.
Yeah, they should move. They should, man. That's a great point. So they should combine 105 and 108 and only
Yep.
make it 108, and then 112 and 115 and only make it 115.
Exactly.
Because they only 3 pounds apart. Like, bro, if you can fight at 105, you can fight at 108, dog.
Exactly.
If you can fight at 112, you can fight at 115, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'd even say, shit, get rid of 118. It should be 108, 115, and then 122.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's 7 pounds in between each of them. That shit. Then we find out who really got the smoke.
Exactly. I
agree with that shit.
Yeah. And that way. Now, what's next with Chocolito? I think that Estrada's still out there. I still think he's out there because he's better now, but it was too late because Martinez and Roman Gonzalez already signed the contract. So he couldn't say, okay, well, I'm better now. Okay, let's go on. No, it can happen. But I still think, as Eddie Hearn said last night, that fight is out there. That fight still can be a possibility. That trilogy can still go on.
Yeah.
And Martinez. See, shout out to him for a great sportsmanship, great heart. But I think he took too many flush punches. Pretty much trying to show that Mexican heart. But what next for him is he's going back down to regular flyweight. He's not going up to super flyweight.
He's still the champion at 112 pounds.
Exactly.
So,
he's going back down. So that was a great fight for him, great payday for him. So he's going back down and finish what he needed to finish down there at that weight class. Now, what's next for him? I think Navarrete is the man right now. I think he's the next right there at the featherweight division. And I think he put all featherweights on notice. Now, can he be beat? Yes. Will he be beat soon? I don't know. Because you got Chocolito. He can fight Monster anyway. I think that would be a good fight.
Boy, that fight there would be
man.
Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up.
Wow.
Yes, Chocolito can take his power, he got a shot in that fight.
Yeah.
If he can take Monster anyway power with as much as Monster get hit, he got a shot in that fight. Look, man, I agree with everything you said about Chocolatito. I'm gonna focus with a lot of what I got to say on Martinez, but for Chocolatito, man, he showed again. I told you guys his feet were way better. His IQ was gonna be too high, and his work rate was gonna be too much. And of the two, he had a far better defense, and that showed. He hit with the cleaner shots. He did his thing, and he was pivoting around on Martinez. Martinez couldn't keep up with his feet or his hands, and as a result, Chocolatito dominated that fight. As both Kqkc and I both said that he would. So that's why when we doing these picks, man, y'all gotta understand we take our emotions out of it and we really break this shit down and we giving y'all our honest assessment. It ain't no shit about who we want to win or who we rooting for, no shit like that. So salute to Kqkc and myself, man, for great analysis. And I agree with everything you said about Chocolatito. I want to focus in on Martinez because a lot of times when y'all hear a term that you'll hear a lot of content creators say, and maybe some understand what it means, or some don't really know what we mean when we say it. And I want to be clear with me, like when I say go out on your shield, when I say showing heart, what I mean by that is what Martinez did. So Martinez in round number 11, he threw 62 punches, and in round number 12, he threw 70 punches. So he was still in that hole trying to fight, trying to get his shit off and trying to see what he could do to try to win that fight. In comparison, Chris Colbert in round 11 of his fight against Hector Luis Garcia, he threw 12 punches. In round 12, he threw 18 punches. So when I talk about heart, y'all, and when I talk about like going out on your shield and the types of fighters that I have respect for, I think that Chris Colbert is an immensely talented fighter and far more talented than Julio Cesar Martinez. But I got so much more respect for Julio Cesar Martinez as a fighter than I do for somebody like Chris Colbert, because Julio Cesar Martinez went in there and stood it up and put his 10 toes down and said, shit, you might be whooping my ass, but I'm gonna try to whoop your ass too, and we're gonna see what the hell going on. and he came in that hole the last 2 rounds, clearly losing, clearly tired, but he threw every punch that he could and shit. He didn't land one, but what if he would have? He gave himself a chance to. And so that's the type of shit that I respect from him as a fighter and as a young man. Like that type of heart, like I can work with that shit. I want to see you fight again. I want to see what you can do next because I know you ain't gonna give up. I know you ain't got no quit in you. And you can take confidence from that shit as a young fighter, knowing, okay, shit, I lost, but shit, that's Chocolatito. Like, let me get back in here. The rest of y'all, I got this issue for y'all. I got this work for you. And you showed your competitors in the future that maybe aren't as good as Chocolatito. They gonna know, all right, this young man, he ain't gonna fold. He ain't gonna fold at all. And so that's the type of shit that I respect. And so as far as what's next for these fighters, I think I heard Chocolatito in the post-fight press conference. He did say he want to stay at 115, and it's so much smoke for him at 115. He got Estrada. If Estrada is able to get through Josh Franco, or Josh Franco, he can beat Estrada, y'all. Like Josh Franco can fight, so he got that smoke. I love to see him get a trilogy going with Rung Vasai. But I tell you who he don't need to fight. He better stay away from my boy Jesse Bam Rodriguez. I'm telling y'all there right now. That young man out of San Antonio, Texas, he said he want the winner of this fight. And listen, that's a tough ass fight for Chocolatito. But I'd love to see it. And I don't want nobody to turn down no smoke. So shit, make that fight. But for me, I think 115, a big matchup. See what happens with Estrada and Franco. If Estrada is able to get through Franco, I don't see no reason why we can't get Estrada versus Chocolatito 3 as we were supposed to get with 2 belts on the line. Yes, bro. Sign me up. As far as what's next for Martinez, I agree with Kqkc. You still the champion at 112 pounds. But I need you to, like, the one thing I do want to critique him on, not only just inside the ring, feet, defense, all of that shit need work. But, bro, you the 112-pound champion, and you just couldn't make weight at 115 pounds. You need to get your ass a nutritionist. You need to you need to do something. Whatever you spending your money on that's not on your career, you need to save that money, put it in your career, and get you somebody to help you eat correctly, because how the hell you gonna make weight at 112 and you the champion down there and you can't make weight at 115? Like, I'd hate for him to go lose his belt on the scale because of lack of discipline and not using the proper resources to get to make sure that he's able to defend his belt or whatever. So I want to see him drop back down to 112. I appreciate him for coming in on short notice and saving the card, so to speak, and giving such a good account of himself. But I do want to see him go back down to 112, maybe try to defend his WBC title, or even try to unify shit. Like, whatever it is he needs to do to unify. It's a lot of great fights for him down there at 112 pounds. Maybe a rematch with McWilliams Arroyo, since that got declared a no contest. You got Junto Nakatani down there, Sonny Edwards. A lot of great fights, man. A lot of great fights. Ricardo Sandoval is another name that comes to mind. So it's so much smoke for him down there at 112 pounds. So get back down there and see what you can do. But that's all I got on the KQ, man. I know we're a little bit over on the time. So but that's all I got, man. That's it. It was a great night and a great weekend of fights.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like I say, next week, I'm gonna go ahead and call that fight Saturday. That fight is what, on the zone?
Yeah, that's that'll be a DAZN fight. And then also I forgot, Friday is a ShoBox card too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a ShoBox card on Friday that we're gonna be doing. So everybody in the building, I'm not gonna be live Friday night. I'm gonna be live Wednesday and Thursday this week, just like we had to do this past week. If there's a fight on Fridays, I'm gonna go live on Thursday to do the breakdowns and the prediction. So we'll be live on my channel Wednesday and Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And then y'all be sure to check out the daily videos and shit that we drop every day as well.
All right. And I am Kqkc Boxing Network. Come on Monday through Friday. That's 12:30 p.m. on Central Time. And I will be on tomorrow at the same time, but I will be off Tuesday. This Tuesday, it won't be alive this Tuesday. So keep that in mind. But we right back at it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and of course, morning show on Saturday morning. All right. This has been a great weekend of boxing. And this has been a great prediction show by Knockout Boxing. I think all his picks and prediction was pretty much spot on. You know, I mean, even Fierro, he came. What was it? Fierro came in
Yeah,
with
Fierro, that one was a draw.
right,
Came
but
close on that one, but that one was a draw. So we got to throw that one out. But the rest of them we got right, man. So we
right,
grinding, man. Y'all got to come check out the content and obviously
yes,
continue
sir,
to support Kqkc. But we work
Mhm.
hard, man. We
Yes,
work
sir.
hard. So y'all be sure to at least smash the like button for us. If you can't donate to the
Mhm.
Cash App or the Super Chat, that like
Mhm.
button, man, it does wonders for the algorithm and it makes them share our content. So we really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Now, Pierre, even though he had Minnie Mouse, he could have won, but he had Minnie Mouse in the ring. And didn't he have Minnie Mouse, or was that Mickey?
Yeah, bro. If I'd have knew he was the type of guy to carry Minnie Mouse to the ring, I wouldn't have put it. I wouldn't have picked his ass,
You know,
bro. Like my daughters used to have Minnie Mouse and
I
shit.
know.
Like
You
I
know,
don't
so
know, bro.
yeah, so I don't
Carrying
know.
stuffed animals to the ring, like
I don't know. These fighters are
they be
weird.
looking
You
for
know,
gimmicks and shit. Like
right? You
I don't
know,
get that shit. Like
and
I'm
then
surprised Eric Morales, the warrior that he was, as his trainer, like he should have. And when he saw that shit, he should have slapped that shit out his hand. Like, bro, put that shit down. You
I
ain't
know,
no
man. Put
walking
that
with
shit up,
you.
right? Give it that
The
shit.
hell
Throw
out of
that
here,
shit in the
man.
garbage. But hey, thanks everybody for coming in today. All right, it's been a great show and been a great weekend of boxing. I mean, we talking about Friday, we talking about Saturday, and then last week we talking about Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So I mean, man, I can't wait for the next weekend. We got a lot of good fights coming down the pipe. We got Valdez. We got Secure in Valdez. We got Serrano and Taylor. I mean, we got Dylan White. You know, even though you don't
And
like it,
Tyson
whatever.
Fury,
But
yeah.
Tyson Fury. I mean, we got a lot of fights. So watch out for knockout boxing.
Jerron in this fight that month. Erickson Lubin
Oh
fight
yeah.
that month.
Oh
Man, it's gonna
yes.
be
Most
fire.
definitely. Oh
April,
yeah.
that's my birthday month, so we turning up. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna
Oh
be a
okay.
fire ass month, man.
Okay.
Some good
Okay.
ass show.
All right then. And with that, everybody have a great Sunday. And if y'all going to praise the Lord, say a prayer for me. All right. And with that, I'm out of here. And I am Kqkc Boxing Network. And also, you got anything else to say on?
Nah, man. Peace, y'all. If y'all don't do nothing else, watch some boxing, man. Watch some boxing, help the sport grow. But that's all I got, man.
All right. And with that, we'll see you all later. Everybody have a great day. And shout out
Peace,
to the
y'all.
almighty LDBC. Peace.